So the amount of things that you think you do has higher impact when you are in control, like self-determination of your own activities.
Yes, and it's also you get what you put in. If you don't put in a lot, you're not going to get a lot. But if you put in a lot, you have the ability to get a lot. So if you're lazy, I wouldn't recommend it because it's not as easy as everyone thinks working for yourself, because you can't just turn it off.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to Life and Leadership Unfiltered. Here we are, we have a special guest today. His name is Jeremy Hertenstein. He's an entrepreneur, been working hard since he was 13. We are in his firewood lot selling firewood.
Lumberjacks firewood.
Lumberjacks firewood. And his main job is really running Harris and Sons. We're out in the field here, so it could be noisy. Welcome, Jeremy.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
No problem.
Tell me your day-to-day activities, your job.
Between Harrison Sons and firewood?
Yeah.
We do tree trimming and removal for commercial and residential properties, and I do estimates and manage our employees,
Your team.
our team.
Yeah. What's the most satisfying thing about what you do?
Most satisfying is probably just meeting new people and getting big jobs.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What's that like for you?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, tell us like a day in the life with Jeremy Hertenstein, morning until night. What is it that you do?
First thing, I get the crews their work that needs to be completed for
What
that day.
time is that?
5:30 a.m.
5:30 a.m., folks.
And then have me or Melanie go through the emails and send out leads to a couple of our estimators, and I handle a couple of my personal clients that reach out to me direct.
And
then I take care of their estimates on a daily basis. And then right now is during the winter, so we're a little bit on the slower side, so we have some of our crew stay at the yard and they split the wood.
so hence lumberjack.
Yep.
When did you start doing the firewood?
We probably started about like 2-3 years ago, but last year we did not do it, so we were too busy during the winter. Actually didn't slow down, but we're still pretty busy, but just not as busy. So now we got time to do firewood this year.
Yeah. What do you do for fun?
Either hang out with the kids or...
So folks, he has 3 kids, an 8-year-old, 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old running 2 companies. So this is the day in the life being self-employed, an entrepreneur.
So I'm Harrison Sons from 5:30 a.m. till probably like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we sell wood from 2 to 6 p.m.
Yeah. And when are you a dad? Because I do notice that you get up in the morning and you are a dad first thing in the morning, getting the kids to school, feeding them breakfast.
Yep. At 7 o'clock I wake them up and then take them to school, and then I'm still working during that time and then sending out estimates, and leave directly from there to go out and either do estimates that I got to do or pick up wood from the crew so we can bring it here and sell it. And
How old are you?
30.
How long you been doing this?
Harrison Sons since 2011.
Yeah.
But I was working from sophomore year all the way through high school when I got off early.
What advice could you give to someone who wants to make it as an entrepreneur? You obviously provide service and now you're selling firewood. What can you...
You just
What
gotta
advice?
be able to handle the stress and try to be as organized as possible.
What kind of stress do you handle? Do you manage?
I manage stress from like problems that we deal with, such as crews needing the right material, whether we're doing tree planting or tree removal or stump grinding, and making sure the right equipment's there to get the job done, and making sure all the gas is filled up on the trucks, and making sure everyone's happy and everything's getting paid and everything's getting billed, and
Yeah.
it's a lot.
It sounds a lot. So what's the game for all of this? What's the end game? I mean, no goals, future goals?
Future goals is to try to figure out how to sell firewood all year, because it's less other people intensive. It's easier for me to do it versus having other people do it.
How hard is it? I mean, what makes it hard or how do you shift from only selling during the winter time to selling in the hottest probably state? We're in Arizona, by the way, the desert. It gets quite hot. So what do you need to do and
So
pivot to
our goal to be able to sell firewood is to sell cooking woods to like restaurants and businesses, so that purchase wood all through the summer.
restaurateur? Did you hear that? Look at all our woods out there, all piece of firewood. The end goal, and like how many years do you think that you can build that?
I would say in like 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we stick with it. Every year it seems to get easier and bigger.
So you've been doing this for 3 years.
3 years, but last year we didn't. So
You took a break last year.
took a break last year, and then this year we decided to go full on firewood since we got the space and the ability to be able to do it and the right equipment and tools to make it efficient.
Yeah. So I feel like, of course, I have an insight. He has known nothing else but working for himself and working hard. What are your thoughts about people working for companies?
I don't think I could do it because it's a lot of, to me, it seems like a kind of a waste of time.
Is it? Okay.
To me, because I get a lot more done, I feel like, in the day versus if I was doing something else.
So the amount of things that you think you do has higher impact when you are in control, like self-determination of your own activities.
Yes, and it's also you get what you put in. If you don't put in a lot, you're not going to get a lot, but if you put in a lot, you have the ability to get a lot. So if you're lazy, I wouldn't recommend it because it's not as easy as everyone thinks working for yourself, because you can't just turn it off or be off work at the end of the day. I'm getting calls right now and text messages about probably the schedule for the work tomorrow.
And there it is. More customers. Hopefully it's not problems. Yeah. Okay, you were able to dismiss that call.
Yeah.
Junk calls.
Get a lot of junk calls too.
So you said something that a lot of people think it's easy. Can you say more about that?
When you're working for yourself, you're relying on yourself to get done what needs to be done, and if you're not doing enough in the day, then you're just wasting your time or losing money. Or I've had people say, oh, it must be nice or it's easy, but they don't know that it's easier for me to do firewood versus if it was for someone else, because I have all the tools that we use for the tree company are versatile, and there's levels and we're advanced.
Yeah. How many crews do you have? Tell me about like the different schedules that you have, summer, winter time.
So during the summer, we have 3 crews, 2 doing commercial and 1 doing residential.
And how many people are in each cruise?
We have 3 to 4 guys per crew.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have 2 estimators and then myself. And then our residential crew does with, anywhere from 1 to 5 customers a day that we have to keep in contact with and make sure that everything gets done and billed. And then the commercial crews, we're on jobs for multiple days, so that just is a lot more of me like overseeing and making sure that the right amount of work is getting done in that day to make it profitable for us, and that the right amount of work is done.
What's the biggest problem you've encountered as someone who's running a tree or firewood business?
Biggest problem is if I kind of catch myself being lazy, it will bite me in the butt, because I'll be like, oh, I have, stuff will build up to where it's like, oh, the truck needs tires, and then it's sometimes I don't have time, or the guys will tell me right then and there, and then I'll have 4 other things happen, and then I forget, and then next thing you know, a week's gone by, and it's like, hey, I told you we needed a tire, or hey, we have so much equipment. We have dump trucks, chippers, stump grinders, trailers, man lift, grapple trailers.
There's a lot of equipment to manage.
There's
and
a lot
people.
of heavy equipment to manage, and if it's not properly serviced, or if something goes down, it makes a big impact on even how much work can get done, or even the jobs that like we can do, because
Yeah.
if one piece is down, it really.
How do you manage that so that you can grow or be more efficient?
So we've been keeping our equipment up to date has been helping a lot, and getting rid of the old stuff, getting new stuff, but it's just you got to take care of the equipment that takes care of you.
What's helped you the most?
I think my time management has been really bad, and I noticed that once I got my set more locked in and managed my time, because everything I do is very time consuming. It doesn't sound like it's very time consuming, but
We're sitting here after all.
yeah, I will look at the clock and it will be 12 o'clock and it feels like I woke up 30 minutes ago. And then, especially during the winter, it's dark by 6. So I think time management is probably the most important thing, because you could be doing something that doesn't feel like it takes 3 hours, but it does take 3 hours. And then there's not enough time to be able to juggle picking up the kids or making sure work is scheduled or anything.
Yeah,
And taking action.
taking action.
You gotta take action.
Well, thank you so much. I think my biggest takeaway is that hard work, getting the guys ready at 5:30 in the morning, which I'm not a morning person at all. So, but I make it work. I make it work. That means you're getting up at what time? If you're getting your guys ready at 5:30, what time are you?
I'm setting the jobs at 5:30, and
Okay.
then so I'm up around like 5:15. It's all stuff I can do on the phone or on the computer.
And then you try to go to bed by?
My sleep's pretty bad right now. I'm usually in bed by anywhere from 10 o'clock to 12 at night, but need to work on that.
That's not much sleep. Yes.
No.
Yes. But I heard you say I need to work on that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, it is always a working progress. As an entrepreneur, self-employment, or if you're working in the corporate world, it's not for everybody. This is not for everybody either. And so go out there and do your thing, and comment below if you have any questions for Jeremy and the services that he does.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Signing out. Bye-bye.